שמש דקה ומוות בכנפיה.
Where did Elimelec and his family go from Bethlehem? The expression, the fields of Moab, occurs only in the book of Ruth. And it's not about the whole country of Moab in the east bank of the Jordan River, which is, if we see it here from the land of Israel towards the east, it's first of all a large extent of wild, ruggedly mountainous area. The fields of Moab are not these mountains in the beginning, but it's the fertile high plateau. Just yesterday morning I discovered in my personal Bible reading that Jeremiah 48 verse 21 in Hebrew calls these fields of Moab Eretz HaMishor. And the ESV translates it as tableland. I very much liked it because if you look from here, it looks like a table, and it's also a land that provides food and thus a basis for survival. It's like a table. So the land of Moab in the Bible very often is a refuge. Several times it is thus described, for example, for Elimelec and his family, then later on for David and his family. Maybe he had relatives there, and then later on David fled from Absalom, also again to the land east of the Jordan. And apparently Moab was a refuge even in times when the first temple, the Temple of Solomon, was destroyed by the Babylonians. And several times in the Bible we have mentions that Israelites lived in the land of Moab. We know about Joash and Saraph, who were landlords over Moab, and they returned to Bethlehem. Rabbinic literature equals them with Machlon and Kilion, but I do not see any biblical evidence for that. And then even after the destruction of Herod's temple, the so-called Ebionites, it was Christians actually, Jewish Christians, today we would call them Messianic Jews, who heeded the words of Yeshua, of Jesus, and fled to the eastern part of the country. So the land of Moab is quite present in the Bible, and very often it is the gate to the promised land. When the Israelites, after the exodus from the land of Egypt, left there, they didn't go the straight, the shortest way to this land here, but made a detour and actually came up from the east to the promised land. It was there where the land was distributed to the tribes of Israel. It was there on Mount Abarim, on Mount Nebo, that Moses was allowed to see the promised land, and it was there where Moses died and was buried. It was in the land of Moab that the Israelites mourned him. So from the promised land, from the point of the promised land, it is a very significant land that it's a gate to the promised land. What is very crucial, if we see it from this point of view, is the relationship between Moab and Israel. Moab was one of the sons of Lot, and at the times when the Israelites came and conquered the promised land, the Moabites were some of the original inhabitants of the land here, and God commanded the Israelites at the time, "You shall not harm the Moabites, nor make war on them. I will not give any of their land for a possession to you, for I have given Ar to the sons of Lot for a possession." And later on, the judge Yiftach says, Israel has not taken any land, neither from the Moabites nor from some other people. So there was a special relationship with the Moabites. However, the Moabites were not known for their generosity in sharing food with strangers. It was due to their miserliness, to their stinginess, that the Moabites were not allowed to become part of the nation of Israel. It says up to the 10th generation, they should not enter the house of Israel. So if Elimelec was motivated by his stinginess, by his cost effectiveness, to leave the land of Israel and go to Moab, it was the right place to flee there when he fled his obligations in the land of Israel.